Turmoil was released on June 2nd of 2016. The game was developed by Dutch indie developer Dubious. Turmoil is a simulation game based on the 19th century oil rush. The game originally released for Windows only, but has since been ported to OS X and Linux. The main goal of the game is to become the mayor, beating out the other 3 oil tycoons in the city. This is done by competing in auctions for parts of the city, but you'll need money for the auctions, and that's where the oil comes in. The main gameplay in Turmoil is drilling for oil. Each round in Turmoil consists of a calendar year, where you have to make as much profit on the land you have. Prior to each round, you have to bid on the land that you'll be using for that year, and in later levels you'll have to do a stock auction where a percent of the city goes up for sale. Once you're out in the fields and drilling, there's really 3 main elements to the game. You have to find oil, drill for that oil, and transport and sell it. Balancing each element and timing is super important to having a good season. Each round usually starts out with you looking for oil by using dowsers, which will indicate if there's an oil patch beneath them. Usually they're fairly accurate, but sometimes I'll have one find oil and I just can't figure out where it is. Once you've found oil, it's time to set up an oil rig and drill down. You're unable to see what's in the ground until you drill, so you have to guess where the oil patch is. Usually they're directly beneath the dowser. As you play through the game, you're able to upgrade the ability to look for oil beneath the soil with moles and eventually with a scanner. After you're pumping oil, you have to either store it or sell it. If the oil rig's capacity goes over a certain amount, the oil will spill and you'll get a fine at the end of the year. In order to transport the oil, you have to have horses and wagons move them to either your storage facility or to the right or left company. As the year progresses, the value of oil from each company is constantly changing, so your goal is to sell the oil when the prices are high and store it when the prices are low in order to maximize your profits. At the end of each year, you're taken back to the town where you're able to upgrade pretty much every element in the oil drilling process. You can increase the maximum number of horses and how much they can carry, or you can upgrade the pipes on your oil rigs in order to pump more faster. Additionally, in town, you're able to head to the bar and make deals with various people that'll affect how the next year's oil drilling will go. For instance, you can bribe the companies that buy your oil to keep the oil value above a certain level for a year, or you can bribe a city official to have your oil spillage fines waived for a year. As you progress through the game, you're taken through 4 areas that each have their own additions to the game's gameplay. For instance, in the second area, the desert, you'll be introduced to rocks under the ground that can't be drilled through unless you get a certain upgrade. These areas keep the game fresh and also raise the difficulty as you play. Turmoil is a blast to play. The way the game evolves as you upgrade your gear each year makes the game feel really satisfying and makes you feel like you're making real progress from year to year. Looking for hidden oil pockets couldn't be more fun. The game's campaign can be beaten in about 2 hours. However, the game has a lot of replay value and you can easily lose track of time playing it when you're really getting into it. Graphically, Turmoil's minimalist and clean look makes the game look incredible, especially on large screens. The game's simple graphics make all the colors just pop, making the game a delight to look at. Turmoil's sound might be the weakest part of the game, with most of the soundtrack consisting of steel string guitar playing Old West sounding music, but that's not to say it's bad. The music does fit the game and it's nice and calm and works well with this type of game. It's just very forgettable and not something I'd seek out to listen to. Overall, Turmoil is an extremely solid simulation game that's easy to pick up and play. The campaign, as you play it, really makes you feel like you're progressing year by year thanks to the game's upgrade system. The gameplay itself is a blast, and the number of things that you have to balance making you have to play the game strategically if you want to win. Turmoil is without a doubt worth checking out if you're into simulation games.